Okay, so,
Yeah.
hi, I'm amongst friends. I can't tell you how simultaneously heartbroken that you're so far away, but also like really happy. So this is the third session of the Comics Connection series. And it was a very special day for me especially because, as I told people in the previous sessions, for me the challenge of the 24-hour comic hour book day, except for the very fun results of having incredible back and wrist pain, which we all very much enjoy, which is why we have all chosen this profession of cartooning. We also, I think the most important thing for me and why I love comics so much, and I think it's the medium that will save us all from war and robots, is that more important than the result itself, than the books, it's about connection between humans. And because 24 hours is so challenging to make a comic, we have to make one comic per hour, we have to produce it. Those are the rules, although in this particular project we made, each pair made 12-page comic, which was connected. The physical constraints really require us to hold each other up and support each other through this process, which is tedious and very hard to do. And we also have to really connect with a stranger that we've never met before, who lives a few thousand miles away and a few time zones away. Connect in a magical way, because only a very intimate connection can create a great story. And I think it's a kind of circle that feeds itself. The meeting a stranger, we are awakening inside this like very human desire to want to tell a story about ourselves, to give something of ourselves to the person sitting across from us. And by doing so, we become instant friends. And I think by meeting you and talking to you, and I know from talking to you guys over there in the States, that friendships were formed. And I think people here who are lucky as we are, that we get to leaf through the physical books and read them. As readers, we encounter these intimate connections formed, and they made really, truly magical stories. If they weren't free, I would pay my very good money to buy them. And we're reaching the last 4 stories, which are as wild as any we've heard today. So without further ado, because there are a lot of people to introduce, I would like to start with the pair of Ivy and Sophie, who made this. Oh, by the way, this is this entire festival is sponsored by a magical Polish company creating disappearing paper. It's very ecological. It's the paper of the future. Watch. Anyway, so the rules of the game are, we'll demonstrate on Ivy and Sophie's book. No, I'll open the presentation and then you'll see. This is much better. So where is Ivy? Yeah. Okay, people on Zoom, you can see the slideshow, right? Correct? No.
Still.
Not okay, but people here, I'll start. Yeah. So the rules.
We will share the screen.
The rules of this particular game, which was a part of an entire 24-hour comic book event, which took place in the physical library. And this is very important to mention because we are joined by 3 Center for Cartoon Studies alumni, or NIS. English is not my first language. It is the origin place of the original 24-hour comic book day, as invented by Scott McCloud and Stephen Bissett, who was our teacher and professor. And it became a global challenge that happens every year during October. The official date is October 6th. And the rules are, for our game, Sophie and Ivy were paired here. They each had to choose an object which would then appear in both their stories. And the stories have to be connected somehow, and it's a double cover, so you can read from both ends. And now I'll let Ivy and Sophie describe themselves and their practice in just like a sentence or two, what you do other than comics. Where do you live? And why did you choose your object? Okay, so Sophie, you can start.
Okay. So hi, my name is Sophie. I'm an illustrator and comic artist from Berlin. I studied there at the University of Arts. And I'm really interested in comics and also in theater and building sculpture stuff. Like you can see here, I built a bird, raven. And some days before the comic connection started, I read an article in the newspaper which told the story about a lost Picasso painting which was stolen in 1999 from a luxury ship. And I wanted to use this object for my story.
Ivy?
Hi, I'm Ellie. I've been drawing comics for many, many years. Outside of my work in comics and art, I work in 3D graphics for simulation. And until yesterday, I lived in Los Angeles, but I'm now on my way to moving to Norway. So that's what's going on with my living situation. For my object for the comic, I kind of misunderstood the assignment and thought it had to be an object that I actually owned. And so I was going through my apartment looking for things, and finally I settled on these little brass coat hooks that has like the head of a lion, and then there's a hook that comes out in front of the lion's face. And these were something that were given to me by my aunt, who lives in New Orleans and runs a kind of a junk shop there. And this was something that she had in her junk shop that hadn't sold, so she gave them to me one time, and I've been lugging them around with me ever since, because they never seem to live in places that would allow me to screw them onto the wall. Someday, I hope to, because I enjoy them, but for now, they'll just have to star in a comic, and it'll be good enough.
And star they do. We'll see them. I think this is one of my favorite combinations of objects. So let's dive into the stories. So these are the double covers by Sophie and Ivy, and we'll start with Sophie's story. Just walk us through it while I show. The main point is to get you to get a physical copy of it so you can collect it, and see how wild this adventure gets. So Sophie, I'm moving you guys to the side just here. Okay.
So as I already told, there was this article about the stolen Picasso painting, and I started and jumped into the research, and I read about a second Picasso painting, which also was stolen or disappeared, and was found by an old man, a junk dealer, in an old cellar, and he took this picture and hang it in his living room without knowing that this was a real Picasso painting for $215 million. And and on the pictures there is shown Dora Maar, who was a lover and muse of Picasso. And so I told in my comic the adventure of the pictures they could take in my imagination, but on a second layer I'm also telling a little bit about the tragic story of Dora Maar, who was a really successful and independent artist, female artist. She was a photographer, and she lost everything. So her independency, her success, her mental health, through the love to Picasso, because he used her mental, emotional deepness and her stories and her love for his painting, and she somehow disappeared like these paintings. So that was my story, and I worked with watercolor and ink, and it's all another so by hand on paper.
And you can see the line hooks as well. So these are So these are Sophie's spreads, and then they connect with Margie. And I'll let Ivy walk us through Margie's story.
Oh, and something we didn't mention yet is that we also had to agree on where the stories would end. So they would end in the same location. The location we settled on was a flea market.
Yeah.
So here's the end of Sophie's story with the flea market, and now we'll see how I get there. So Margie was a character. Oh, this is the unfinished version.
Oh, really?
Oh well.
Oh no.
That's okay. They're almost the same.
Just 1 second. Okay, so
What?
I'll yeah, you're right. I'll let you guys look at the. Don't worry, we have the finished copy here. Sophie will show everybody the proper version.
Yeah, the unfinished version didn't have.
Just imagine this has amazing gray tones.
Yeah, but Margie was a character I came up with a little while ago for an exercise I was doing, and then when this project came along, I thought it'd be a fun time to actually try to do a little story around her and see what she would do. And so basically my concept with her is that she's just a really horrible kid, and she's so horrible that her little shoulder angel has just quit his job, and now all that's left is the little shoulder demon, and even the shoulder demon is kind of horrified with the things that she wants to do. And so in this story, she is at a junk store with her sister, and more like an antique store, and she finds out that antiques are valuable, and so then she goes on a quest to find something that she can sell for a lot of money. And as I was writing the story, I really didn't have a very clear idea in my head of what was going to happen on the next page anytime. I was just kind of winging it. So first she goes to the dump to find stuff, and then while at the dump, she's chased out of the dump by a pack of rats, and then she goes to her grandmother's house, thinking that her grandmother would probably have some old junk she can sell. And while at her grandmother's house, she remembers that her grandma has a bunch of paintings, one of which is the Picasso painting, which I guess possibly means that her grandmother is part of the crime ring. But she takes the grandmother's painting and runs the flea market, where she finds out that the cost to have a table at the flea market is the same amount of money that she's been trying to earn this whole time. So she ends up outside of the flea market trying to sell the painting and looking very angry because this is not what she wanted to happen.
Can I borrow well, afterwards I'll show you guys the finished version through the physical book. Everybody who is joining us on Zoom. If I could just borrow
Can you borrow this for a second?
yeah, sorry. I just want to really quickly, how do I exit this, guys? No, I did something wrong. If I flip through here, just to show you what it looks like in the printed form. Are you seeing this? No.
No, we still need the.
Oh, we're still seeing the. How do I stop sharing the slide?
You want to stop sharing?
Yeah, just for a second.
Here.
Ah, here it is. And now.
Invisible comics.
Damn it. So, if you can. Yes. You see, this is why comics has to be done in pairs. One person has to stop the pages from disappearing, and the other has to play. So this is Ivy's comic, and Margie, and you guys will get copies of this in the mail.
And I didn't mention the materials were all on paper, and it was inked with a not technically inked at all, but the lines were drawn with a heavy black pencil.
And I just want to say, like, I really love what you mentioned, that these underlining meanings and connections, which are hilarious, is way more than we can imagine doing by ourselves. So I think this coupling is one of the wild ones of the bunch. So round of applause, and we'll move on. We'll have questions at the end, but I want to move on to the next pair. And this is also has to do with antique objects. It's Kevin and Kachka. Yeah.
Maybe I will change the background and the comics will not disappear.
Oh, okay.
Just
and we need to share the slides again.
Sure.
So Kachka, you can.
Wait a second. I just. You will see. Yeah. Maybe now it will be better.
Okay.
But wait a second. It should be somewhere. Where is? Okay. Maybe right now it's better. Can you show the? No, we still have the same. No.
But I think the next slides will be okay. It was just because we had.
It's just.
I
we
needed
need to find the way. Yeah, safe probably. Wait a second.
No.
Wait a second. Oh, give me a chance, Karen. Okay.
Okay.
No, not this.
Is it turning to stop?
Sorry. Okay. The presentation. This is not the right one because we didn't. Okay, once again. And it was.
Yeah. Okay. So it's this one.
Wait a couple of seconds.
So this is the next booklet that we're talking about. It's also a double cover that's read from opposite sides.
Wait a second. Yeah. I just need to share the screen right now and I cannot do it. But you can continue. Karen.
Okay. Maybe we can start just by Kashi, you can introduce yourself, and then we'll have the slides too.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Okay. Yeah. So.
All right.
These are the next pair of artists. So where do you live and what do you do?
Hello. So I'm Kačka and I just finished freshly finished school in Pilsen, which is in Czech Republic. And I think that I'm mostly an illustrator, focused on children, but when I can, I like to draw comics. And and sometimes it's kind of also an illustration and also a comic, so I'm not really specific into dividing it into two separate things. And I chose as the subject can of sardines because I think it's neat, and I like sardines, and I like the design on the cans, so it's nothing deep, but
Yeah, so
that.
this
Yeah.
is the can. And then this is Kevin's object. Kevin.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? I'm so happy to see you. I'm so happy to see both of you, even
Well,
though
we
I
got-
actually can't see Kafka right now.
But we
But-
can't see you.
Yeah, oh wait. Kevin is...
Where are you?
oh shit, wait. There is Kevin. The top of
We're just
Kevin's
like
head.
I see. Okay.
Kevin, if you
I'll just,
can
I'll
float a little bit.
I'll sit. Oh, my computer adjusts automatically. You know, that's fine. I have been told I have a face for radio.
No!
Nice.
Yes, now we can see you.
Yeah.
You made it work. Incredible. This is so nostalgic. This is like the days of the high pandemic when we were all just trying to make it work. I think it's lovely. Yes, I'm Kevin. Hello. I'm a cartoonist. I went to CCS with Ivy and Kat and Corinne. And when I'm not a cartoonist, I work at a cafe and also do some editorial work. I chose this cute little porcelain dove that I got at the thrift store a few years back, just because it's an object that always sits at my desk, and
I'm
it's
doing
one of
these
my
faces
big
because I'm
toy
trying
hats,
to...
and I can hold a pen on it.
But are you on Zoom? Are you seeing the slides?
I am, yes.
Oh, good. So evil dove, evil porcelain dove. Okay. Well, that's what Kevin said, right? Did you say evil, or am I just from the...
I did not say evil.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But
I'm from the Middle East. Never mind. So, these are the two covers, and we will now take you on a global, international, spanning years and years adventure, and we'll start with your story.
Well, it's funny because mine is kind of like the second part
Oh,
of the
so-
story, but
No, you're right.
Uh,
It is better to start. No, you're...
yeah, we actually decided with Kevin that I will be here physically, but he will do most of the talking, so that's the fair share thing.
So Kevin,
I
walk
will
us
gladly.
walk us through a few souvenirs.
yeah, so when we first talked, we thought that we had these two very pretty kind of vintage objects that we had both chosen. And we kind of just started getting this idea of people who have collections of beautiful things, and so we started talking about these grandparents and the story of a little kid just kind of exploring a big old house. And that was like an experience that we both had as kids, and just like seeing all the weird old stuff that they have. So we came up with the story of a little child exploring their grandparents' house, and then telling the story of how their grandparents acquired all of those objects. So we had both of our stories begin and end at this beautiful old house that's actually across the street from where I work. That's where we kind of got the inspiration for the house. And yeah, so I'm telling the story of how this couple got all these objects. We start with the grandfather who, as a young man, decides to take his first kind of trip abroad, and kind of starts out thinking that, you know, maybe travel isn't really as exciting as he hoped it would be, but then very quickly is embroiled in this kind of international intrigue. We never really get into like why the grandmother is being chased and why these gangsters seem to want this dove. It kind of doesn't really matter, because we, or at least I really wanted to just kind of focus on the action and the adventure of it all and lean into tropes, you know, like with, you know, gangsters, there's always a big guy, a little guy, you know, and we had very, I don't know, it was just the type of story where it's like, especially because we chose to tell it silently without any dialogue, it was the kind of thing where we hoped that we could just kind of make things very clear through the action. And it's a very fun kind of way to tell a story, you know, just be constantly moving from one thing to the next, make everything just kind of over the top and fun. And yeah, so they end up, you know, going away on a ship headed to Norway and then sailing away to a tropical island and getting their sailboat destroyed and having this big final confrontation, and they just end up back home again after all of these adventures. And that's kind of how we get to, you know, years and years pass and we get into Hajka's story. It was very fun. It was a very, very fun, fast-paced story where kind of you just kind of let the drawing take over. You know, I really had fun doing it. I had been in a huge, like, multi-year long creative rut, and when you reached out to me, like, you want to be a part of this, I was like, yeah, I feel like this is what I need to get out of it. And it was not easy to get out of it, but I think I did. I've been drawing again since, so I feel good about that. So yeah, so I'm very grateful to have gotten to do this project, to tell the story with Katerina.
Oh, I'm just so happy to be holding a book that you made. So it's like for me also, this is like a breath of fresh air, of being reminded how direct and easy this form is if you just want to connect, and that is the goal. And so without further ado, we get to part 2 of the not evil at all porcelain pigeon. Absolutely no evilness. Karen. So Kashka. This is the fact that I think I knew, but I forgot about that. This is a house, like a real house. So we start off here.
Yeah. So even though it's like part 1 and part 2, and we worked really close together, you can read the second part first, and it kind of still makes sense. And when we are actually making it, we had the same. I mean, we talk about the objects that we shared, but I didn't know what Kevin's story exactly was, because my comics is, I mean, we all know the weird things in our grandmother's or grandfather's house, and they have like weird teapot or some, you know, statue, and you play with it like a child, but you do know the story behind it. So I didn't know the story of Kevin's, but I knew that we were using postcards and like seashells and little teapots, and so I kind of interpreted as the child that just like browsing through the attic and just finding things, and those were my short stories in the comics. But of course, in the end, we had to have the action with the bad guys that escaped in Kevin's story. So, there was the big action scene. I am terrible at action scenes, so that's all you got from me. And at the end, the grand finale with the grandparents and the broken, not evil person death.
I think it's amazing that the method of sort of sending each other bits and pieces produce, like, just by inventing this language together, it also like created a bond between two styles that are different, but the way you made the compositions, the page compositions of the flowing frames one into the other, reading it is a delight for the eyes, and there's so much so what I love about this comic is there's so much detail that you can get lost inside other side stories and wonder. You really created an entire world, and I'm very proud of this book, and it's wonderful. So really. Okay, so next pair. Before, don't worry. If you have questions, save it to the end. So we were discussing sardines, which is a fish, and so you don't know this about me, but my middle name is Master of Segue, and so I segue into another fishy story while technical stuff is being done. And I'd like to invite Kat. And I'm afraid of mispronouncing Otto.
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 Really?
Oh, really? Yes. This is a little turn into a darker side of the fishy stuff, and you'll hear it from them. Just introduce yourselves very quickly. And also say hi to each other. And just say what you do.
I think, but let's start with Kat.
Okay, Kat.
Hi, I am Kat Gastly, and I am an illustrator working with traditional media, and I do also do comics. When I am not drawing, I work as a test developer in the healthcare certification industry.
That's very nice. And my name is Otto, and we're just doing this together with Kat. So I am also a comic book creator. I'm from Poland, from Warsaw. I am not also professional, so I have other jobs. So I am doing this in the spare time. And I just have to look in the comic books because we finished this so long ago that I didn't remember the story. So now I am prepared.
Yeah, wait, let me just show people. Yes. What is this bizarre technology? Okay.
Okay.
So double covers. Now I'll show you through the slides. I'm just pretending that I'm leaning into the screen, but I know what I'm doing, but I really don't.
Just put on the PowerPoint presentation.
Okay.
It should be okay.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be when they were talking about themselves. Just pretend your voiceover. Now, just why you chose what you chose.
I chose Sturgeon because I thought that it would be funny that someone have to draw Sturgeon because there are not so many pictures of the Sturgeon, so I thought that it would be a great idea.
And Kat?
I have a collection of keys, and therefore I chose a skeleton key.
So, we'll start with
with mine. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
this is, by the way, you're seeing the actual capture of when this was taking place in October. So, yeah.
So I finished the whole comic books during this 12 hours. So that is why I wasn't so sure. So.
Oh wait, this is a cat's.
Yeah, no, this is mine.
Oh no, yeah, sorry.
So this is mine. I recognize it. So I draw a story of the sturgeon who is just going deep in the sea, and in Tulu vibe, he is just catched by some creatures like this, and he is brought to someone like a king of the deep, and there he is getting the key inside, and he is swimming to the island. And this is the connection to the cat comic book.
So cat's cover is here.
On a remote, deserted island, a man and his wife are walking along the rocky shore, looking for items that have been washed up in recent storms. There, he sees something among the rocks, an old chest. But what's inside? As things begin to deteriorate on the island, as the storm of the century nears and people begin to flee, including his own wife, with whom he refuses to go, he becomes more and more obsessed with the chest. What could be inside there? Finally, after an explosive fight, his wife leaves the island in order to be safe from the storms. And at that time, he returns to the beach that provided the source of his obsession. And there, after months and months of being unable to open the case, he finds inside the skeleton of a sturgeon the skeleton key. He rushes back home to open the chest, and when he does, inside, not treasure, only caviar. Overtaken with a peculiar madness, he begins to shovel the caviar into his mouth, eating and eating until he has gorged himself on it. And then another peculiar feeling takes hold. He runs back to the cliffs that overlook the rocks, overlook the sea, where he is transformed himself into a sturgeon.
And just a personal tier for myself. If you look at the bottom, it's dedicated to me. For Karen, and I've never been given a sturgeon before in my life. This is my very first sturgeon dedication.
Congrats.
And thank you. And it's because of you. I mean, look how one person has a crazy idea and fish get passed hand from hand. And I think this is, I mean, just really, I'm also wanting to sort of connect to Kevin's words before and just echo them because they're so important. Is that as you probably met, maybe you were in the previous session, and I think it's also connected to the theme of Kat's story. I feel like I'm living on a sinking ship, and I feel so like everything is falling apart and everything is crumbling, and every day I feel like I'm losing more and more of my humanity, of things around me, and this idea that you can lose everything you have, even hope, and then I'm being dramatic, but I'm allowed because I come from war. And then just for 24 hours, people telling us, inventing a whole new story, and it becomes a world of its own. Like each of this is a microcosmos that makes me happy, and I get the sense that I get in every comics festival as I pick up a book that I like, and I look at it and I think, I only need this. I don't need anything else. This is the thing. And you like go from object to object like this, and I think it's magical. So I'm sorry it's like a little bit off topic, but it really is. And and I also have to say, the sillier it is, the thing that is the story that is given to you, the better. I think silliness is really only bad things happen from seriousness, right? If you take things too serious, like land, there is blood. But if there are fish, it's awesome. So, a round of applause. I really love this. I'll ask you guys to talk, everyone together, about how it was to work with each other, but I just want to leave the energy up for the last book, which is a very sharp turn into dragons. And are you here?
No.
No. Oh.
They are there. Martin.
Oh, both
is,
are there.
Yeah.
Okay, both
He's
are
in Slovakia
inside.
and Sam is in United States.
Okay.
Okay, so just the presentation and.
So Sam, I haven't met you in person, but I feel the CCS bond, I guess.
The kingship.
The kingship of people who have survived. Also, like, we really have nothing to do but play Dungeons and Dragons and invent stories there, and make up stories, because otherwise there's only snow and darkness. So
The only way is to get to the harsh winters.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Sam. I'm a cartoonist in the fledgling beginnings of my career. And when I'm not cartooning, I work with non-artificial intelligence in the transactional department. And yeah, that's about it.
Sorry, I'm trying to show you.
Magic hands.
Yes. Damn it. Oh, we'll see it in a minute. You can see it. What I'm doing, Sam, is I'm waving this. Oh, that's very exciting to hold, but you'll see it soon in the slide. Hold on, I'll pull it up. So this is what I was waving at you practically. Yeah. And can you hear us?
I can, yeah.
No.
Martin.
Yes.
Oh.
Sorry. Just introduce yourself. Is your face also here? Or?
Yes.
Wait.
The red cat.
Yeah, that on Teams.
Yes. Here you are.
Yes, I can hear you, I can see everything well. I'm Martin from Bratislava, Slovakia, and I do comics for a living, sometimes illustration design, but mostly comics. And this was a very cool opportunity. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know, Karen, you were the one who paired up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good choice, thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Top notch.
We had fun, and if you put on the pages, I can tell you something about it, because I think I'm first.
Wait, tell us about the objects.
Yeah, the object. So mine is the dragon tooth, and Sam had the boar skull. And this was the start of our story, because I was thinking about, okay, how can I put these two things together? And then it started that, imagine the Bronze Age somewhere in Scandinavia, there are goblins and orcs, and they have a rite of passage as to, you have to get a tooth of a dragon to be considered an adult male. So this was the beginning of the story, and as the story evolved, Sam came up with the cool idea of showing
the same thing, but from a different perspective, from the perspective of the dragon, whose name is Ostra. And so my two heroes, Kik and Garnak, are on a quest, first as adversaries and then as compadres, how to get to. So here you can see Kik, the goblin, who is drunk and desperate, and then there's Garnak, the orc, and they are both two young guys who have to get a tooth of a dragon. Also, Sam's style is watercolors and ink, and I wanted to kinda vibe with his style, but my watercolors and inks are digital, but they try to look kinda analog, yeah, like traditional. So my two heroes travel through the marshes, forest, and they meet. First, they consider each other as an enemy, but Kik, the goblin guy, is clever, and he convinces the orc guy that they should work together. There are enough teeth in the dragon for the both of them. And so they come upon a couple of humans who are doing a ritual sacrifice and scary them away. And lo and behold, a couple pages later, they meet the dragon Ostra. So the both stories meet on page 12.
Yeah, so this is the two sides of this like watery watery thing. The dragon here, and the two and okay. So now Sam, take us through your story.
Right. So when Martin pitched this idea to me, one of the ideas that I sort of had later on was this sort of counter juxtaposition where the orcs and the goblins have more in similar than they think, but they think of themselves as very separate. But the dragon is this very solitary creature, but thinks of himself as the recipient of a whole lot of goodwill. He's together at the center of a world that is populated with more than it is. In fact, the name Ostra is a reference to a line in A Christmas Carol where Charles Dickens describes Scrooge as solitary as an oyster, and Ostra is like the Danish word for oyster.
Oh.
But then I had just sort of I think because I was at the time reading Grendel by John Graham, I just sort of had a thought of the story being similar in that it's a monster sort of thinking about their life and their own little world. So Ostra it's a day in the life of Ostra the dragon, as he just sort of thinks about like, I can't tell if I've made the world as I have because I love myself or because I hate myself. And so he thinks about like all the different parts of like, you know, his hunting and the humans who sacrifice goods and crafts to him, as like him trying to appease himself. But then he thinks of like the scary reflections in the water and squirrels that he hates. He wonders if he's torturing himself. And then he thinks about the nature of the orc and the goblin, who he thinks of as sort of a two-headed hydra that keep fighting each other.
So this
and
is... Yeah.
And it's just an ends, and he's uncertain if what this orc and this goblin mean for him and his psyche. Like, are they fighting for him? Are they fighting as a representation of him?
And so they end up here just looking before anything. So if I show you just really quickly what it looks like in physical copy, there's this. This is the centerfold, and it really is a really great example of like the two stories meeting in the same place, and it's also very to do with like it's a really beautiful way, and I'll name drop an anthology. There are a few of these. I know that CCS is, has this some alums involved in something called Fantology, where they share a world and then they travel through it. So this is like a really nice way to travel through. And again, this was made by two strangers meeting for one day for a few hours, and created an entire universe and scope of storytelling. And it feels so complete to have these two sides, and I was very excited to get it and read it. Just very quickly, because we're closing for, so how to conclude. You must get copies of this. I have a dream, no quote intended, of having these and the year before it, and having it an ongoing project that will get collected into a book. I feel like these are really great books by themselves, and I hope you make merchandise of all these great characters, because I would like the evil porcelain bird who is not evil, and I would love the pigeon, the post, I would love the surgeon. These all have to be enamel pins. I hope you're clear on that, and you're working on it as we speak. And that's it. We have to conclude. I love seeing you again. I hope we get more chance to work like this. And thank you, Alexander, who made everything happen, who is here. I don't know if you can see him. Can you say hi, just to everyone? He was here all along.
Karen, we love you.
Oh, thank you. I love you too. Say hi.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Norway has great chess players.
And it's closer to Poland, so yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Also, but we are aware of orcs and dragons in that land of Scandinavia. So yeah, it's closer to Israel, so I'm happy.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Participation and for meeting today.
Everybody
Bye-bye.
move to Norway. Move a little bit.
I'm thinking about it for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
It'd be nice.
Oh, and thank you, Agnieszka,
so nice.
also, who was part of this, also here. Like, this is very much to do with you. You have to say hi, and then we'll.
Hey everyone.
You're
Agnieszka as well. Hey. I'm
Hi.
again.
And
I love all the books. I don't have the physical copies yet, but I will, and then I'll be posting them all over. So.
they'll get copies, right?
Yeah, the
You'll
copies
get
are already
copies.
prepared and they
You'll
will be
get
sent.
copies in the mail. And one more person who is missing here, but has produced everything, which is Michal, the director of the library. So everything.
Yeah, we need T-shirts with his face.
Yeah, we need T-shirts with his face. I agree. He has long hair and a ponytail. Very cool.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.